Hello, everyone. This is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts, and this is Prehistoric Facts Extra episode number 79. We're going to conclude the 2023 season with the Extinction Profile number 5, and that would be the KPG Extinction event. So, this is the end of the Cretaceous event that we'll be talking about here. So, let's actually get started, shall we? So, let's talk about the end of the Cretaceous period. So, this is still in the Mesozoic era, and so 66 million years ago, the climate was warm and humid. The continents were nearly similar to today, but they were still different. North America and South America were not connected to each other. Africa would have been a little bit different. Europe would still be a few bunch of scattered islands. Antarctica and Australia were still somewhat connected, but they were starting to drift apart. And so, yeah, there would have been plenty. And Asia would have almost looked very similar to today, but there's still the Tethys Sea that actually still was around there too. In terms of the population of the animals, dinosaurs were still the largest animals on the land, still ruled the land, but their populations were not really that big across the world. But other types of populations did increase, like mammal populations increasing, bird population increasing, so the avian dinosaurs were increasing. Pterosaur populations decreased dramatically. So the only types of pterosaurs that you're going to find are a few small pterosaurs, but of course you got your large pterosaurs like Hetzigopteryx and of course Quetzalcoatlus. And your marine reptiles were still the largest animals in the ocean. There were still have been plenty of fish, sharks, other marine invertebrates that were around, and so you had plenty of life on Earth at that point in time before the extinction event happened. And so here's the geologic time scale, and you can kind of see where the arrow is pointing at of where the end of the Cretaceous actually happens. So in the Maastrichtian time age of the Cretaceous period, in the late Cretaceous period, and so this is during this kind of time, and there'd have been and that's where you see the extinction event happen in the geologic time scale. And so here is what the Earth looked like 66 million years ago. Now you can ignore the T on there. That's old uh, lingo. That has changed in the past 10 years. We don't call it the KT boundary anymore. We call it the KPG boundary now because it makes more sense. And so, yeah, here is what the Earth looked like 66 million years ago. So this is around that time of the extinction event, and you can kind of see right around there and where the Gulf of Mexico is. That is where where the impact has happened. And so I'll talk about the cause of the extinction. So the cause of the extinction, most evidence points to an asteroid that was 6 miles wide hit the Gulf of Mexico 66 million years ago. The impact, it was more powerful than any nuclear explosion that we know that is known to man. So this is probably the most powerful explosion that has ever happened in Earth's history. And there would have been there was earthquakes, a shockwave happened, tsunamis, debris from the impact raining back down on Earth that would also superheat the atmosphere, and so this was a very, very, very violent event, and so there was a lot of things happening during this impact. And an asteroid 6 miles wide, I mean, that's bigger than Mount Everest. That's a space. If you want a really good analogy, is if you uh, cut up Mount Everest, and then threw it down to the Gulf of Mexico. Boom. That's what would happen. And of course, the evidence of this is that there is a layer of an element called iridium found all across the world around 66 million years ago at the end of the Cretaceous period. And just so you know, iridium is very rare in the Earth's crust. But iridium is more common is on asteroids, meteors, and comets. So this is very clear indication of that an asteroid did definitely hit the Earth 66 million years ago. Within months to a year, a cloud of dust covered the Earth's atmosphere, creating a complete darkness and, of course, a nuclear winter. So it would have got so plants weren't able to survive without sunlight, and then you had a nuclear winter made things much colder, and so a lot of these animals that were around really had to it really had to depend on small amounts of food in order to survive. Now, surviving dinosaurs that were around didn't last very long after the impact. So the dinosaurs probably were able to possibly survive probably at least to a year. A year. So they didn't last very long after that. So, but really, what it depends is on body size. Anything larger than, say, a domesticated pig went extinct. Anything as big or smaller than a domesticated pig survived. And so size is the key here for survival. Now, there's another debate about the cause of the extinction. There is volcanic eruptions in India called the Deccan Traps that was possibly another cause for the extinction, but there's very little evidence to support this as the main cause of the extinction, because of the fact is that where the Deccan Traps are located, and India was a separate continent at that point in time, is that it would have caused a local extinction, not really a wide range extinction, not like the Permian extinction, not like the Permian extinction. So any of the scientists that are saying, "Oh, the Deccan Traps caused the extinction, not the impact crater. The impact crater happened after the Deccan Traps erupted," there's very little evidence to support that. Very little evidence to support that. And so the more likely scenario, the more the evidence points to, is that an asteroid 6 miles wide hit the Gulf of Mexico, creating these whole slew of events, whole slew of events. And so what this here is the actual impact. And so the asteroid hit, and you can see how the rock has turned molten, and that is that was pretty much what was going to happen. And then within the second part was the shock wave and the tsunamis and the earthquakes, and then you have the impact crater that has a lot of molten rock, and of course it was spewing out gases too. And where the impact happened was in the worst spot that it could have been actually have impacted, in water. And also you got limestone, and when you have heat, pressure, and you add in water, that is going to create a very dangerous effect, and that would be is a very acidic type of event, where that type of acidity goes into the atmosphere, and then all of a sudden it starts raining down, and you create acid rain with this type of event as well. And so plants really had a hard time with that, and even animals that were exposed to those elements really didn't survive that much. And this is within 0 to 24 hours. So this is a very powerful event. Now, the survivors of the extinction. Now, you have your marine invertebrates, so like your jellyfish, plankton, uh, like your squid, octopus, crustaceans, all those sorts of stuff, even corals. Fish survived, sharks survived, land animals, you got insects, amphibians, reptiles, and the reptiles that survived are lizards, snakes, turtles, and crocodiles. And then you had birds, or the avian dinosaurs. They survived. And of course, mammals. Mammals survived because a lot of these animals were able to survive this mass extinction because of their body size. Now, the animals that did go extinct are the belemnites, the type of squid that was around, and those would be the types of squid that has these like hard innards They almost look like bullets in the fossil for fossils, but they're really not. They're kind of almost like ink sacs for these animals. Ammonites went extinct. So ammonites, one of the invertebrates that did not survive. These animals did not survive this extinction, and so ammonites went out pretty quickly. And of course, the marine reptiles like the mosasaurs and plesiosaurs, they went extinct because of their body size. The non-avian dinosaurs did not survive, so what we know of as dinosaurs, they survived. They did not survive. They went extinct. And of course, pterosaurs did not survive, mostly because of their body size, and also they were not adapt. They were not going to be adapted to what birds can do. And birds have a much better ability to get into small creases where they can actually get in and survive that extinction event and be able to have a much longer period of time to survive. So pterosaurs weren't able to do that. Overall, 75% or more of life went extinct. So this is considered to be the second or third largest mass extinction, depending on who you ask. And then after this extinction, reptiles had a short time of dominance after the extinction. During the Paleogene, reptiles were still dominant. They got larger, so like crocodiles and even snakes got larger, and so those were the animals that did survive and got larger for a very short period of time. But of course, mammals dominated the remainder of the Cenozoic, and so after this event, it created the Cenozoic era, which is the era that we're still living in, and mammals dominated the rest of the way. And so mammals uh, diversified and went and created had themselves into all different shapes and sizes, different types of carnivores, different types of herbivores, insectivores, and of course, some of the mammals went into the ocean, back in the water, and ultimately became like porpoises and whales. And so that's where you get the age of the mammals. And so the next episode will be on January 4th, 2024. And that will be a Q&A episode. So give yourselves time to come up with some questions for me to answer. But you can send me those questions via email, dinocris@dinocris71@gmail.com, or go to my Facebook page, Please Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page, yes, you post your questions in the comment section. Please put them in the comment section. Don't put them on Messenger. Messengers are private conversations. And also for you YouTubers out there, like the video, subscribe to the channel. According to my analytics, a lot of you guys are checking out my channel and not subscribed yet, so please hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button for all the videos that are out. How the YouTube algorithm works, the more likes the video gets, the more likely it gets spread out to people that are interested in dinosaurs, prehistoric life, paleontology, geology in general. And so please hit that like button and also share the video, share the videos, share the channel to anybody that is interested in dinosaurs and other prehistoric life. Feel free to do so, and also hit that notification bell so that way you can get weekly notifications of every single video that comes out. So in the next couple of weeks, there will not be any new episodes because holiday season is upon us, and we all deserve a break. And so give myself a couple of weeks of a break so that way to gather myself, and also that way can actually come up with some really cool ideas for 2024 for certain types of episodes. And you can still and for YouTubers out there, feel free to leave your questions in the comment section because I do read them all. Your questions do mean a lot in the Q&A episodes. And so all of you that are sending me questions via email, Facebook, and YouTube, you guys are awesome. You're giving me some great questions for the Q&A episodes. And also make sure you keep your questions short to the point. You can also follow me on Instagram at dino.chris.pf. I post pretty cool stuff on there. You can also follow me on Threads. Same thing at dino.chris.pf. I post pretty cool stuff on there as well. Also, take care of people around you. And also, for your younger people out there, to make sure to listen to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. It's the best motivation you can have a good education. It's very important to have a good education. With a good education, you get a good job in the future. And to all of you, have a great holiday season, and also be safe. And make sure you're being safe, taking care of each other, and so on and so forth. And hopefully, you guys have a good, healthy, and safe holiday season. That's it for now, and I will see you in 2024.